Hello and welcome to the Book Refuge, and today we are taking on one of my favorite series of videos and that I'm just so excited to make for myself, and that is book recommendations based on Hogwarts House characters. Probably totally butchered that, but the point is I am going to tell you about, on this list I think I have 8 of my favorite Gryffindor characters, and in doing so kind of recommending the book that they're from. And my house, in case you didn't know, I think I say it on all my social medias, I love Harry Potter. It is a huge part of my life, and it's a huge part of the reason why, I love reading as much as I do. I was reading before Harry Potter, but it was the first time I read like such a big series that was so epic. I have my Hermione one that I got at Universal when I went last September with my sister. And let's go ahead and get into this list of my favorite Gryffindor book characters. So here we go. Number 1, I have this boy. He is so amazing. He is all the things. He is brave of heart, daring, chivalrous, and has nerve. Probably should have mentioned that first. I'm just so excited I'm doing this out of order. But those are the 4 main characteristics of a Gryffindor house, is that they are brave of heart, daring, chivalrous, and have nerve. And the first character who fits into that for me is Ezra from the Illuminae Files. Now, things start out this novel pretty difficult for Ezra. He's just been broken up by his longtime girlfriend, Katie, and his home planet gets invaded by Baytek, and they are trying to erase this colony, this illegal mining colony, from the map so that their dirty deeds won't get out. And Ezra, through the course of this book, he becomes a fighter pilot. He has to make some very important decisions. Through the course of the whole book, a lot of responsibility falls upon him, and he's never one to shirk away from it. He is just a very good young man growing in to be a great man. And so Ezra is the first one I wanted to mention on this list because I feel like he fully fits all 4 of those things. Next up, I want to bring up one of my favorite fully adult characters who I think is just Gryffindor to the core, although he may have some slices of Slytherin in him, in my opinion, just in certain things. But that would be Jamie Fraser from Outlander. If ever there was a character who is just, balls to the wall all the time, ready, willing, and able to help anyone. He's brave. He is chivalrous, sometimes too much. Y'all know what I mean if you've read it. But besides Outlander being in my top books ever, I just think Jamie really epitomizes a lot of these. He is so amazing. I also think that his partner, Claire, fits a lot into Gryffindor, but in my opinion, she's a little more Ravenclaw just because she's a nurse and she tries to think a lot of things through, but she also does jump head first into something. So anyway, but we're talking about Jamie. You can actually see him in a poster right behind me, always right behind me when I film videos here. I love him. So next up is a newer character that I've just read about, and I really felt like she fit in to Gryffindor for her brave of heart and her daring, and especially her nerve. And that would be Vasya from The Bear and the Nightingale, also known as Vasilisa, also called a million other names because in Russian literature and culture, they have a million names for everybody. Pardon the loud car outside. I love Vasilisa. I have read 2 of her books so far, The Bear and the Nightingale and The Girl in the Tower, and I can't wait to read The Winter of the Witch. I'm very excited to take that on. And I just think she doesn't let anyone tell her what kind of box she's supposed to be in. She is so brave, she's fearless, and that's why she is on this list. Next, I want to bring up Kate from Onyx and Ivory. So Kate is known as Traitor Kate. She has been kicked out of the city that she lived in, out of the capital, when her father attempted to kill the king a few years back. He was put to death, and she became branded Traitor Kate and has to scrape out whatever kind of life that she can now that, you know, a lot of people know who her father was, and they're not willing to give her a second chance. But when she's doing her normal day job, which is being a relay rider, which is very dangerous because there are these night drakes that come out at night and will kill anything that is on the road. And so if you don't make it to a certain checkpoint by nighttime, you could be killed. She runs across the crown prince, one of the crown princes, there are two in this world, who she used to have a thing with back before her father tried to kill his father. And she ends up saving his life. And things happen from there. The next book in this comes out soon, and I cannot wait. But I just think Kate, again, she's been told that she's a traitor and she should basically just give up and not even try to have a life that she would want to have because, you know, she's not going to get that. And she doesn't care. She is going to forge a life for herself. She works a lot with horses. She has a special gift to speak with certain animals, and she uses that to her advantage to earn a living without having a father anymore. So I really like Kate. She was one of my favorite people I read about last year, and I really look forward to her continued story. Next, because I just reread this series, I want to bring up Aragon from the Inheritance Cycle. This time reading through, I just really saw how much he fit as a Gryffindor. He is you first meet him when he's out hunting for his family, trying to get food for them, and he comes across this dragon egg, and he is very brave to pick it up because he doesn't know that it's a dragon egg at that time. And also things found in the spine, which is this mountain forest area that's considered like creepy or haunted. That's the place that he goes to hunt for food, and he's very brave. And as things spiral out of control for him, he is very brash and has a lot of nerve and will just kind of jump headfirst into things and almost kill himself many times because he won't think first. And I just consider him so brave, and it was so cool reading it this time because I really picked up on that. And it's probably because I hadn't read Harry Potter before I read Aragon. Aragon was my first fantasy series I ever read, which is kind of cool thinking about it. So it was really fun to reread it. But Aragon definitely fits into Godric Gryffindor's house. He even has a cool sword too. Next, and she was a little hard to place for me, but I'll tell you the reasons why I ended up putting Cinder into Gryffindor. When we first meet Cinder, things are really tough for her. There's a theme. That's how fantasy, sci-fi, and most stories work, is tough times were there. And she is trying to get herself out under the thumb of her stepmother / guardian, and she is trying to do everything she can. She's working very hard. She's trying to earn money, even though she has to give most of that money right back to her stepmother. She, as things unfold in the series, she takes on a lot of responsibility, and she always meets those things head on. In my opinion, she's very daring and brave of heart, and she has a lot of nerve. Like, she's put in some situations where if she had blinked, if she had wavered, things could go very badly. And sometimes they still do, but I feel that she tries very hard in all things. And that's why I put Cinder into Gryffindor. There's a couple more here, and these two are two of my favorite classic stories. I have retro reviews for both of these. First up, we have Katza from Graceling. If you have read this book, I'm sure it's no surprise to you, Katza really can't fit into any other house. She is a fighter. She is a strategic hand of the king, basically. She does the king's dirty work, but also she has dreams of being at peace, and she's willing to fight to get to that. She is also brash and doesn't really think things through always, but she also is a strategist when it comes to not herself. Like, for herself and the things that affect her, she'll be very brash, but with other people's lives, she does think things through better, which is good. But she's so brave. She kills a mountain lion with her bare hands, which, that's pretty crazy. And I just love Katza. she is amazing. That's a book that I hear people talk about it once in a while, but not always enough, you know. But I do really love XOXO. And then finally, I would like to put forth Rose from East. I will never, ever stop repping this girl. I absolutely adore East. I read it every winter. It is such a good story. And Rose is, she's a little curious, so she almost fit into another house as well. But at the end of the day, the journey she has to go on, most people would have just given up, because when she did something that causes a lot of problems, it wasn't her fault. Like, she was tricked into this situation, and she could have just thrown up her hands, go back to her family, and just move on. But she doesn't. She feels responsible, and she goes on a very crazy quest, a quest she doesn't even know if there is any chance of succeeding, and she does it anyway. And I think she's so brave of heart and daring and just amazing. And so that is why she got a place on this list. So that is a list of just a few of my favorite Gryffindor characters, characters that I've read in other books that I feel would have been sorted into Gryffindor like me. Do you agree with me on any of these? Who are some other people you would add to the list? Is there anyone you really disagree? We can have a friendly debate about it. We can talk about what aspects come forward for us in each character. That could be really fun. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see the other 3 houses. I'm going to be making those videos over the next couple weeks. Ravenclaw will be the next one that I do. And then Slytherin and Hufflepuff. I really look forward to making these videos. So yeah, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment below. And I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can watch some more of them right now. Bye!